Hello everyone, and welcome to Attract Mode here at Lady Arcaders. I am super excited to be here with you. My name is selcouthmind, but you can call me Sel. I'm going to be your host for this fantastic gaming journey tonight. And speaking of gaming, do you like games? Do you play games? Do you like gaming-related things? Well, in that case, you should submit a showcase idea to Attract Mode. You're welcome to submit any type of showcase as long as it's game-related. You want to go fast, you want to show off your Animal Crossing town, want to paint a mural, compose some music, bake a video game related pie, game dev skills, anything related to gaming, we welcome that as a showcase, and we are still accepting submissions for December. So if you've got an idea, visit ladyarcaders.com for more details and to submit your showcase. But with that being said, we're going to get ready for our game tonight, and to start us off, I'm going to tell you all a little story. This is the story of a woman named SweetPeebs. Peebs belonged to a group on the internet where she was gamer number 665, neighbor of the beast. Gamer number 665's job was simple. She sat at her desk and played games for the people. This is what gamer 665 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Peebs relished every moment, as though she had been made exactly for this. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Peebs. Something she would never quite forget. She was asked to play her favorite endings of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe on Lady Arcaders Attract Mode. And so, along with her trusty companions enbyzee, selcouthmind, and Bucket, she started up the game and prepared to play.
Hello, was that you introducing me?
That was your introduction.
Oh,
indeed.
hi everyone. Hi, it's me, SweetPeebs. What's up, YouTube? Just kidding, it's twitch.tv. Hi, I'm SweetPeebs. And as the narrator said, I am joined by 3 cutie pies. Of course, our host, Sel, but also Z and Bucket. Can't forget the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Reassurance Bucket. But yes, this is Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and I'm going to show you my favorite endings. Please excuse my gravelly kind of voice. I do have a sinus infection. But we're gonna have a lot of fun here. So we're not gonna see all of the endings in the 2 hours. They're just casually, it does not take 2 hours. It takes longer than 2 hours to get through this game. And if you have played the Stanley Parable, the original version, not the Gmod version, but the Stanley Parable, this is not a straight remake or remaster or upgrade or whatever. This has twice the content. It is an entirely new game. They brought back the narrator guy. I'm embarrassed, I literally looked up his name but I forgot his name. They brought back the hits. They brought back Stanley. They brought back the narrator. They brought back, the phone that you see right here and all that business. So, without further ado, are you 3? Of course, I'm addressing you, Sel, Z, and Bucket. Are you 3 ready?
I'm ready.
To rock
I will say I am mostly ready.
All right, that's good enough for me. What?
Would you like to tell them about the chance of a whiteboard ending?
Right. Okay. So one of the endings I'm hoping to get is the whiteboard ending. And the whiteboard ending is completely random. It is one of the places you can spawn in, a cute little blue room. And I won't say anything more, but it's it's great. So for the next, 15, 30 minutes, whatever. Yeah, Scarlet Kitty as the restreamer. Yeah, you're playing the part of the Bucket. Thank you. So you get your predictions in. Are we going to see the whiteboard ending here tonight on my favorite endings showcase? So get your donations in. No, get your predictions in. Unless you want to donate, Lady Arcaders bucks to your prediction. Channel points. All right. So without further ado, let's get it going. 3, 2, 1. Sorry.
Good countdown.
I don't.
This
Oz,
is the
look that up
story
for
of
me.
a man named Stanley.
Look it up for me.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although
Sounds kinda
others might
familiar.
have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment of the
I've heard this. I've heard a version of the story
Yeah.
about a gamer called Peebs.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I've heard this before.
was happy.
I love Stanley. I love this game so much.
And then one day, something very peculiar
That's
happened.
wild. What do you think
Something that
happens?
would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order
Wow,
had
Stanley.
arrived on the monitor
Skill
for
issue,
him
Stanley.
to follow. No one had shown
Seems like a
up
good
to give
day,
him
honestly.
instructions.
Well, you know,
Call a
Stanley
meeting,
loves his job
or even
a
say
lot,
hi.
so
Never in all
You
his
know,
years at
he
the company had this happened.
would
This
prefer,
complete isolation.
you know. And
Something
that brings
was
me
very
to
clearly wrong.
the actual
Shocked,
reason we're having this
frozen
showcase.
solid,
We're going to talk
Stanley
about
found
free
himself
will
unable to move for
in
the
media,
longest time.
our favorite
But as
pieces
he
of
came to
media
his
that
wits and
deal
regained
with,
his senses,
you know,
he got up
control,
from his
loss of
desk
control,
and stepped
loss of
out his
control,
office.
free will, you know, all that sort of thing. So we are, you know, boop, I'll just close the door. So yeah, let's
All of his
get
coworkers
started.
were
What
gone.
can
What could it
you
mean?
tell me?
Stanley decided
First
to
of
go to
all,
the meeting.
what
room.
is free will?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What is the Webster's dictionary definition of free will?
Let me look that up for you. Webster's
Dictionary.
Dictionary. Free will
When
definition.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
According to this AI overview, it is a voluntary choice or decision.
Yet there was not a
Well,
single
please
person
don't read.
there
Please do
either.
not read the AI
Feeling a
overview. That
wave of
is
disbelief,
Okay.
Stanley decided to go up to his
The worst
boss's
thing you
can
to
do.
a staircase.
From
Stanley
Merriam-Webster
walked upstairs to his boss's
Dictionary.
office.
That is not at all helpful. Thank you.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
Okay,
not
there
an
we go.
indication of
Voluntary
any
choice or
form of life.
decision.
Shocked,
Freedom of
unraveled,
humans to make
Stanley
choices
wondered in
that are not
disbelief
determined
who
by
orchestrated
prior
this.
causes
What dark
or
secret
by
was being
divine
held from him?
intervention.
What he could not have known
Wow, it's
was that the
amazing.
keypad
Yeah,
behind the boss's
so
desk
free will, you
guarded the
know,
terrible
if
truth
you're a
that his boss
hashtag
had been
believer
keeping
in
from
hashtag
him.
Christ or whatever,
And
it's
so the
like,
boss
yeah,
had
you know, we have free
assigned
will.
an
I don't
extra
really know any other
secret
religions
pin
other than
number.
that one, so
8,
so if
4,
you
5.
no
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly
have free will,
Simply
pop a
pushing
comment
random
in
buttons
the
on
chat
keypad.
right now.
Stanley happened
But,
to
you know,
input
it-
the correct code by sheer luck.
Part of the appeal of
He
this
stepped
game,
into the newly opened
hopefully you've played it,
passageway.
but hopefully this will be a nice little taste for you. Literally the only way to actually quote unquote win this game is to follow the narrator's instructions precisely.
Descending deeper into the
Everything
building,
he says,
Stanley realized he felt a
you
bit
do what he
peculiar.
says. You know,
It
taking
was
the
a
left
stirring
door,
of
going
emotion
up
in
to
his
the boss's
chest,
office,
as though he felt
typing
more
in
free to
the
think for
the
himself, to
code, coming
question
down
the
here.
nature of his job.
So we're gonna
Why did
do
he feel this
the
now,
quote
when for
unquote,
years
you
it
know,
had never occurred to him.
the winning.
This question would not
And then
go
after
unanswered for
that,
long.
you know, I'm sure there are
Stanley
people
walked straight
who
ahead
played
through the
this
large
game
door that read
who
Mind
just played
Control
the first
Facility.
ending and didn't realize that that's not the full game. Like, I'm sure people
The lights
did that.
rose on an
So
enormous
we're in the
room
mind
packed with
control room.
television
I love it.
screens. What horrible secret did
But,
this
you know,
place
each
hold?
subsequent
Stanley thought
ending
to himself. Did he have
is
the strength to find out?
it's more and more you're purposefully antagonizing
Now
the
monitors jumped
narrator
to life, their
and just
true
the
nature
silly, the
Each
wacky
bore the
hijinks
number
you
of
get
an
in
employee
at
the
that
building.
point. It gets
Stanley's
very
co-workers,
existential. It
the
gets
lives of so many
very.
individuals
Oh,
reduced
hi, other
to images on a
peeps! Hi,
screen.
welcome
And
in.
Stanley
It gets very
was one of them,
existential. It gets kind of
eternally
creepy at
monitored in
points.
this place where
But
freedom meant
you know,
nothing.
it's a fantastic game, and it is a great commentary on you know,
This
how
mind
we
control
interact with
facility,
media and
it was
how
too
we,
horrible to believe it
you know,
couldn't be
decide,
true.
like,
Had
hey,
Stanley really been
what
under
is a
someone's
game?
control all
What's
this
in a
time?
game? A miserable
Was this the
pile
only
of
reason he
choices
was
or
happy
whatever.
with his
I don't know.
boring job?
Yeah, I just
That his
started.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly.
So, but for the Raiders coming in, yeah,
No,
the Raiders
he
coming in,
refused to
we
believe
are
it.
doing
He
the
couldn't
quote-unquote
accept
official
his
ending.
own
And if you
life
haven't
in
played Stanley
someone
Parable,
else's control.
the only winning move
Never.
is
It was
to follow the
unthinkable.
narrator's instructions.
Wasn't it? Was it
So,
even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life
my host,
utterly blind
my
to the
commentator,
world?
my bucket. Do you have any favorite
There was
pieces
the
of
roof, the
media
heart of the
that
operation.
deal
Controls
with,
labeled
you know,
with emotions,
the choices
happy
of free
or
will,
sad
you know,
or content, walking, eating,
rejecting
working, all of it monitored and
the
commanded
boss,
from
you know,
this
stuff like
very
that.
place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this
question.
machinery would never
I
again
wanna say
exert
Final
its
Fantasy
terrible
IX.
power
Okay.
over another human life.
But I
For
don't know the
he
story well
would
enough to actually
dismantle the
explain
controls
why.
once and
I just
for
know that the
all.
main character was the creation and goes against his creator.
All right.
I'm trying to think of a better.
I mean, you know, question. I will also pose it to chat. You know, what is your favorite piece of media, or just a piece of media?
Blackness
Like,
and a rising chill of uncertainty.
has anyone seen the movie War Games?
I unfortunately have not.
Well,
I do not know the game.
it's a
He had
movie.
won.
So
Yes.
it
Machine.
is from the 80s.
Unshackled
It is
himself from
about
someone else's command.
a teen
Freedom
played
was
by
mere
Matthew
moments
Broderick,
away.
and
And yet,
it's
even
been
as
so
the
long since I've
immense
seen it. I
doors
should have
slowly
like looked up
opened,
a summary
Stanley
to show that I don't
reflected on
embarrass
how
myself
many
here.
puzzles
But
still lay
he,
unsolved.
so I don't know if he like
Had his
hacks
co-workers
into the
gone?
DoD or if he
How
just
had he
accidentally
been
finds his
freed
way
from
in.
the machine's
But he
grasp?
starts playing these war
What other
games
mysteries did this
with
strange building hold?
a game
But
machine
as
called
sunlight
Whopper.
streamed into the chamber,
And-
he realized none of this mattered to him.
You know,
For it
but
was
come
not
to find
knowledge
out,
or
it
even
is
power
actually,
that he
it's,
had been
you know,
seeking.
an 80s version of an AI kind
Perhaps
of,
his goal had
and
not
what he's
been
been
to
actually doing
understand,
is doing like
but to
real
let go.
war games, but
No
you
longer
know,
would anyone tell him
turning
where to
into
go,
real
what
warfare.
to do.
So, you know, he's
Okay.
gotta
Whatever life
stop
he
that from
lives,
happening.
it will be
And the
his.
culmination of this
And that was
is
all he
Whopper
needed to know.
tells him, you know,
It
the
was
only winning
perhaps
move is
the
not
only
to
thing
play.
worth knowing. Stanley stepped
And-
through the open door.
You know, making that choice in your own life.
Stanley felt the cool
Are you
breeze
gonna-
upon his skin. The
Are you gonna,
feeling
like
of
here in the Stanley
liberation.
Parable, are you gonna
The
follow the
immense
instructions to get the
possibility of
best
new
ending,
paths
or are you
before
gonna
him.
reject
This was exactly the
authority?
way. Right now.
Are you gonna reject my authority?
things
Are you
were
gonna reject
meant to
authority
be.
to go your own way that may or may not
Stanley
be
was
what it
happy.
needs to be? Or, you know, as the great Geddy Lee says, you know, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. You know, that kind of deal. So, as I am here with my sinus infection, my really gnarly sinus infection, I am posing this philosophical question to you all and asking everyone, you know. Skull Kitty, so let's do the
But Stanley simply
let's do the
couldn't
rejection
handle the
ending
pressure.
first.
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
We'll start with this
He had
one.
never been trained for that. No. This couldn't
All
go
the anxiety
anywhere
of not
except
having been
badly.
trained for something
The
and
thing
having to
do
figure
now,
it out
Stanley
on the
thought to
fly.
himself,
Yeah,
is
exactly.
to wait. Nothing will
Yeah, Other
help me.
Peeps has never played a
Nothing will
video game in
break
his
me.
life. That's
In here I can
totally
be
true.
happy forever. I will
But the
be
Final
happy.
Fantasy remake,
Stanley waited.
yeah, I mean
Hours
that's
passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability
yeah,
to tell.
exactly that's so.
But the one thing he
But
knew for
I've only
sure,
played
beyond
the first
any
part of
doubt,
the
was that
Final
if he
Fantasy
waited
VII
long
remake.
enough,
But yeah, I
the
mean that
answers
actually
would
is,
come.
you know, it's
Eventually, someday.
I don't really want to
they would
spoil because I
arrive.
know there's still people who
Soon,
haven't played it who are
very
waiting for the
soon
whole
now, this will end.
thing to
He
come
will
out
be
before they play
spoken
it.
to.
But
he will be told what to do.
yes, that is
Now
a good
it's just
example.
a little bit closer.
Hopefully that doesn't
I've done it.
spoil
It's even closer.
anything. But
I have thought of a piece of media.
yeah, okay.
The Giver.
The Giver. Yes.
That's all about rejecting the predetermined life set ahead of
All
you
of his co-workers were gone.
and
What could it mean?
moving away
Stanley
from it
decided
in
to
the
go to
hopes
meeting
of
room. Perhaps he had simply
hopefully
missed the
shaking
memo.
things up enough to improve things for everyone.
Yeah, and then that one movie or that one book, like Divergent or whatever. So this is the new content door.
Ooh,
But
content door.
we are not going to go in there yet. What we
Oh.
are going to do is we are
When
going to
Stanley came to a
continue.
set of 2 open doors,
We're gonna-
he entered the door on his left.
We're going to start the broom closet ending.
Room closet, my beloved.
Yeah, we're going to start the
Yet there
broom
was
closet
not a
ending.
single person here either.
Indy, talk
Feeling a
to
wave
us
of
about
disbelief, Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
talk
So
about
he
Shadow of the
turned
Hedgehog
around and got
2005.
back on
Yes,
track.
nerd. The only way to win is to have fun, no matter what the outcome is. That is exactly right. Pakal, yes.
There was nothing
It's
here.
the broom closet
no
ending.
choice to make, no path to
So
follow.
this one takes
just
a
an
couple
empty broom
of
closet.
playthroughs.
No
It
reason to
starts
still be
here. We're gonna be in here for a little bit. We're just gonna be sitting here. So yeah, I mean, this is the perfect time for us to
It was
continue
baffling
our
that Stanley was
discussion.
still just
The
sitting
narrator's
in the
gonna
broom closet.
slowly get
He
more and
wasn't
more
even doing
frustrated
anything. At least if there
that
was
we're
something
just
to
chilling
interact
in
with,
here.
he'd be justified
And,
in some way. As it is,
you know,
he's
keep an eye on the
literally just
subtitles
standing
if
there
you're trying to
doing
listen to
sweet
us,
FA.
the folks talking, because he gets a little testy, and it's really funny every time you
Are
go
you-
up against
are
the
you really
narrator.
still in the broom closet?
It's
Standing
a
around doing
whale of a
nothing?
time.
Why? Please
Narrator's
offer me some
great.
explanation.
Yeah.
So,
I'm genuinely confused.
there's this one game that I think might fit the kind of free will or the theme that we're talking about.
You do realize
That I
there's
think
no
you know a
choice or
little
anything
bit
in here,
about.
right? If
Would
I'd
Alan
said
Wake
Stanley
fall under
walked
this?
past the broom closet,
Alan
at least you would
Wake-
have had a reason for exploring it to
What?
find out.
I mean,
But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of
I'll talk about
absolutely
Alan Wake
no
1
significance
because
to
that
the
game's been out for
story
14 years.
whatsoever.
Yeah, fair.
I
And
never would have
but so I won't
thought
talk
to
about Alan
mention
Wake
it.
2. But yeah, Alan Wake 1, he writes a scary book
Maybe to you, this
where
is
he was, you know,
somehow its own
brainwashed and
branch
whatever
of
into
path.
writing it because he has
Maybe when you
supernatural
go talk about
powers
this with your
and whatever
friends,
he
you'll say,
writes
"Oh,
will
did you
become
get the
true.
broom closet
Did you
ending?
get the broom closet ending?"
Was my
So
favorite.
it's
I hope your
you know,
friends find this
he keeps
concerning.
finding these pages around the game area and it's describing everything that's happening and it's like,
Stanley was
well,
fat and ugly
did
and
I
really,
write
really
this
stupid.
or am
He
I
probably
living
only
this?
got
Am I
the job
experiencing
because
this
of
right
a
now? So it
family
is a
connection.
very
That's how
fascinating
stupid he
question
is.
that
or with drug
Mr.
money. Also,
Lake
Stanley is addicted to drugs
and
hookers.
his buddies at Remedy Entertainment, you know, have posed to us. So
Well,
yeah,
I've come to
I
a
do
very
think
definite
that Alan
conclusion
Wake
about what's going on right
would
now.
fit the bill for
You're
that.
dead. You got to this broom closet,
And actually, when you think
explored
about
a
it,
bit, and we're just about to leave
yeah,
because there's
and
nothing
Control
here,
also.
when a physical malady of some
Because
sort
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely, you know, the inciting incident is wow. There's definitely a strong inciting incident in Control, and you know, Jessie, she has to decide if she's gonna follow the logic of the people giving her the instructions or if she's gonna go her own way in a van, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, the Remedy games do have very good, you know, questions about free will and you know, personal choice, and yeah. So right now the narrator is asking, excuse me, is there anybody alive? I'm assuming the first player has died, otherwise they would have left the broom closet already.
And insightful commentary of this game is not lost on
Bioshock
them.
is a big one,
Alright,
that is
when you've done that,
true.
just step out into the hallway. Second player. It's good to have you
Bioshock
on
is a
board.
huge one.
I
Yeah, do you want to
guarantee
use...
You can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Want to talk about Bioshock? Or... And then we're going to go back in the closet.
I
You
don't
too.
know anything about Bioshock.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
I've-
At the mercy of an entire
I've played them,
species of
Okay.
but I
animals.
could tell you
Perhaps there's a
nothing about the
monkey
story.
near
All
the
right, so
hand control
Bioshock
too.
is about
A
this
fish,
dude named Jack,
fungus.
and he's on a plane,
you
and
can
it
hammer out the
crashes into
details.
the
I'm not
ocean.
particularly
But then
picky.
turns out
Just
he's
be
been
waiting for when you're ready to
brainwashed
pick
from
up the
birth.
story again.
Again, this game has... I'm really, like... It's been out for like 20 years. I'm sorry. I don't want to be that person. But Bioshock is definitely... So that is the setup for the broom closet ending. The narrator's like, "Hey, this are you
Coming to a staircase,
So we're
Stanley
gonna go
walked
down.
upstairs to his boss's office.
Or, I mean, somebody in chat, Laszlo or somebody else. Okay, let's see. Pakal, free will versus control and chaos versus order is the big aspect of Assassin's Creed, more so in the older games, with the Assassins wanting free will and chaos and the Templars wanting total control and order. That is good. I actually have not played Assassin's Creed because I was bad at the parkour. So we are coming into the Mariella ending, and this is a little content warning. This one has kind of derealization, depersonalization.
Why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone.
It gets a little
his boss would think he was crazy.
Introspective
And then
and
something occurred
existential.
to Stanley.
The whole game is
Maybe,
existential.
he
I
thought
mean,
to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my coworkers
But,
blinking
yeah,
mysteriously out of
it's-
existence in a single
this is
moment
probably
for
the
no reason
bleakest
at all.
ending I
None
will
of
be
it made
showing
any
off
logical sense.
today.
And as Stanley pondered
We
this,
haven't even
he
gotten
began
into the
to make
bucket endings.
other
If you haven't played
strange
Ultra Deluxe, you're like,
observations.
where's the
For
bucket
example,
that
why
Peachy has been
couldn't he see
talking
his
about?
feet when he looked
Well,
down?
wait, just
Why
wait.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
I'm very ready for the
Yeah,
book.
And for
yeah.
that matter, these
I
rooms
know
were
nothing
starting to
about
look
this game.
pretty
I have not
familiar.
seen it. I have
Were
not
they
played it.
simply
I know
repeating?
Really?
zero
No,
about
Stanley
it.
said to
Yeah,
himself,
this one's a
Ooh.
banger. Like,
Too
it's literally one of the
strange,
games
this
of all
can't be
time.
real.
For
I've had it
He
recommended
came
to
to the
me.
conclusion
Yeah,
that it had
it's-
been on the tip of his tongue. He just
it's
hadn't
very
found the
much
words
my
for
brand
it.
of humor.
I'm dreaming.
Yeah, that's you. You're the bucket.
This is all a dream. Oh,
Indeed,
what a
Skull Kitty
relief
is our
Stanley
bucket
Yeah,
in the
Skull
voice
Kitty
call.
finally
is
found
our
an
bucket.
answer, an
Our silent
explanation.
protagonist.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't
Okay,
going
so
to
here's
lose his
here's
job.
something
He wasn't
fun
crazy
that
after
I
all.
learned.
And he thought to himself,
I will
suppose
not be
I'll
doing
wake
the
up soon.
Stiggly
I'll have to
Wiggly
go back to my
ending.
boring
I just
real-life
we
job
don't really
pushing
have a lot of
buttons.
time
I may
to
as
do
well
all that.
enjoy this while I'm still
But yeah,
lucid.
that the
So,
figurine
he
ending is
imagined
one of my
himself
favorites,
flying
and we're also
and
not going to be
began
doing the
gently float
epilogue
above the ground.
because I did.
Then he imagined himself
Yeah, you can be the broom in the
soaring
broom
through
closet.
space on a magical
What was I saying?
starfield.
All right, so
And
something
it
I
too
learned
appeared. It was
being-
so much fun.
I'm
and
so
Stanley
sorry,
marveled
Oz.
that he had still not woken
You keep
up.
distracting me.
How
One
was
of
it that made
one of
him
the things
so
I
lucid?
learned
And then
being
perhaps
involved
the
in
strangest
the
question of them all
hashtag
entered
Remedy
Stanley's
Entertainment
head.
fandom or whatever.
One he was amazed he
So
hadn't
apparently in
asked himself
Finland,
sooner.
finally I'm
Why
telling the story.
is
Apparently
there
in
a voice in my
Finland,
head
at one point in the
dictating
past,
everything
I
that
don't
I'm
know
doing and
specifically,
thinking?
but there was a
Now the
shortage
voice was
of
describing itself
buckets.
being considered
And
by
ever
Stanley,
since
who found it
then,
particularly
any store
strange.
that opens,
I'm
any
dreaming about a
restaurant,
voice
any special
describing me,
event,
thinking
the
about how it's
organizers will
describing
give
my
away
thoughts, he
a
thought.
bucket
And while he thought it
to,
all
you know, the
very odd,
first
I wondered
however
if
many
this voice
people who
spoke to
stand in
all
line.
people
And
in
this
their
is real.
dreams.
I'm not
The truth
goofing on
was
you.
that,
This
of
is a
course,
real thing
this was
that
not
is
true.
apparently
How could it
a
be? Was
Finnish
Stanley simply
stereotype.
deceiving himself? Believing that if
So,
he's asleep, he doesn't have to take
Def-
responsibility. for
yeah,
himself.
so the entire nation of
Stanley
Finland, I
is as
think,
awake right now
would love
as
this
he's
game.
ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
I could have just like
After
stood
all,
still for this,
he
but
knew
you
for
know,
certain,
I
beyond
won't.
a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Were you floating
Did the
at
voice
one
not
point?
seem
Yes,
float and make
Stanley
the
at one
magical
point thinks
stars
he
just a
has been
moment ago?
dreaming,
How else would the voice explain all that?
but
This
then he
voice was a
realizes,
part of
no,
himself
I'm not
too.
dreaming, this
Surely,
is real.
Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
So he gets
that
a
this
little,
was a dream. So he closed his
you
eyes
know,
gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
a little bit
He felt the cool weight
existential
of the
there.
blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air
Xenoblade
of
also
the
deals
world
with
outside
deals
this
with
life.
free will, and with Xenoblade
me
1
wake
about
up,
going
he
against
thought to
predetermined destinies and
I'm
making
through
your
with
own
this
life,
dream.
and Xenoblade
I
2
wish it to
about
be over.
embracing the life you've been
Let me
given.
go back to
Okay,
my
so they
job.
kind of
Let me continue
both
pushing the
sides of the
buttons.
coin there,
Please. It's all I
showing
want.
you know how
I want my
both
apartment,
points
and
of
my
view have
wife,
their benefits
and my
and
job.
drawbacks.
All I want is
Tell
my
me more.
life exactly the way it's always been.
I just thought of a piece of
My
media
life is
that
normal.
deals with free will, and I can't believe it didn't come to my mind first
Everything
thing.
will be
Yeah.
fine.
It's an indie game called A
I
Juggler's
am
Tale,
Okay.
and it was featured on Lady Arcaders at Trackman at one point as the first playthrough race. But you play as a puppet, and you have literal strings attached to you.
Stanley began screaming.
And as you go through the game, you break free of those strings, and you get your free will essentially away from whoever is controlling you.
Sorry, Stanley's screaming, or the narrator's screaming right now.
He is, yes.
So now we meet Mariella. and which is why this is called the Mariella ending.
This is the
And while we learn about Mariella, repeat what you just said.
Okay, yeah. So,
Mariella
in
woke
Juggler's
up on a
Tale,
day
you
like
play
any other.
as a
She
puppet.
rose,
You have
got
strings
dressed,
attached to you.
gathered her
The narrator
belongings,
is
and walked to her
technically
place of work.
not
But on this
controlling you,
particular
but
day,
like
her walk was
if you
interrupted
jump
by
off
the
something
body
really
of a
high, the
man
narrator
who
will
had
grab the
stumbled through
strings and
town
lower you
talking
down
and
gently.
screaming to
If you
himself,
fall in water,
then
the narrator will
collapsed
pull
dead
you
on
out
the
of the
sand.
water.
And although she would
But
soon
as you're
turn to
going,
go call for
you
an ambulance,
break these
for just a
strings and you
few
break
brief
free
moments,
of the
she considered
narrator's
the
will
strange man.
and gain
He
your
was
own
obviously
will
crazy.
and
This
discover
much she
how
knew.
you want to live
Everyone
your life.
knows what crazy people look like.
Okay.
Really
In
cool.
that moment,
Yeah, that
she
sounds really
thought to
cool.
herself how
That kind of
lucky
sounds
she
like
was to be
this.
normal.
Kind,
I
I mean,
am
not
sane.
even
I
close,
am
but
in
like the
control
vibe. I
of my
mean,
mind. I know what is real
I love
and
that.
what isn't. It was
Yeah, it's
comforting
really cool.
to think this.
Definitely
and in a
recommend
certain
checking it
way,
out if you
seeing
like.
this
Can you
man
put the
made
title in
things
chat?
better.
Yeah,
Then she
yeah.
remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very
I also
important
thought of
people
another indie
whose
game, too.
impressions of her would affect her
Juggler,
career,
crusty
and by
juggler.
extension, the rest
What do you got,
of her
Sal?
life. She had
American
no time for this,
Arcadia.
so
American
it was only in a
Arcadia.
moment that she
The whole
stood there,
concept, without
staring
spoiling
down
the
at
story,
body.
is
And then she turned and ran.
essentially very Truman Show.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You realize very fast that American Arcadia has been a long-running
All of his
long-running
co-workers were
show,
gone. What could it
like
mean?
the Truman
Stanley
Show,
decided to go to the
except it's a
meeting
whole
room.
alternate
Perhaps
world.
he had simply missed a memo.
And there's some discussion in there about corporatism and stuff like that. There's the Walton family.
Okay.
Definitely not
From Oklahoma, by the way.
Disney.
Oh, the Waltons, like Sam Walton, Walmart. They're
When
from
Stanley
Oklahoma.
came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
They
left.
suck. All right. Call says Xenoblade 1 has the character
Yet
being
there
able to
was
see
not a
visions of the
single person
future
here
and
either.
prevent negative events,
Feeling
but
a
the
wave of
visions
disbelief,
come from the God of
Stanley
the universe.
decided
It is
to go
already
up to his
predetermined
boss's office,
how
hoping
everything
he
plays
might find
out.
an
So
answer
the visions
there.
are things that the God has already decided will happen. Oh, that's sad.
Oh, no,
Now,
no,
what's
no,
not
no,
sad
not
is
again.
the
I won't be part of
narrator.
this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room.
That's a nice wrench.
Please
It
take
is a
your
nice
time.
wrench.
It is.
Look
yeah.
at that wrench. Look at those pliers. Look at
Ooh,
that.
shiny.
What is that?
What? What is
Is
that?
Someone,
Looks like
the
a
orange handle thing?
It looks like a water spigot thingy because there's like
Yeah.
a connector down there.
Yeah, like a connector for maybe water, like sandblaster or something.
Or this, I don't know. Oh my god, is this you, Laszlo?
Oh, that's
Is that like you, Laszlo? Anyway. Goodbye, broom closet. That's the last
Oh,
we'll
I
see.
missed
of
it already.
Yeah, that's the last we'll be
Coming
seeing
to a
of the broom
staircase,
closet.
Stanley
unfortunately.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, so next we're gonna.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
Z, this
not
is
an
for you.
indication of
Without
any
knowing,
human life.
Would you
What could it
like
mean?
the
Stanley
elevator
wondered aloud
ending,
to nobody. He began
or
wildly tearing through
the
papers
art
on the boss's
ending?
desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his
Elevator.
situation.
Okay.
But his attention was caught by a keypad.
You love this game? It also
behind the
gives you so
boss's
much
desk.
anxiety.
What could its purpose be? In fact,
Is it
this
because you hate
keypad
me?
guarded the terrible
You hate
secret
making
that lay
decisions.
buried below his feet.
That would be
And
me.
so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course,
Yeah, that's the same
Stanley
number as
couldn't
before.
possibly have
That's
known
true.
this. Yet
Oh my
incredibly,
god,
by
is that
simply
my
pushing random buttons on the
warlock?
keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
Big
by
fire
sheer
team's all
luck.
here.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened
Hey everybody, check
passageway.
out the previous episode of Attract Mode with me, Laszlo, and Princess Shortcake, Grace, where we play Destiny 2. Alright, so instead of going that way,
I've gotten this ending. This ending scared me.
this scared you? Alright, so we're going back up. We're going back.
Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just
This
lead
was-
back to his boss's office? Well, that's a
great question. I
just
can't wait to
to
find
find out.
He gets so silly and sassy. I love the narrator. But I love Stanley the most. So as you might have noticed, all we've done is go
Here we are, Stanley.
through
It's your
the
boss's
left
office.
door.
Exactly the way it was before you got onto the
And
elevator. It's still
I'm
just
seeing
exactly
now that it
what
is 9:35.
What a decision you've made
We
to
should
come up here and
probably
look
start
at the
going
office
through the right
again.
door.
This has
We
fleshed
might
out
have to
the
skip
plot of
the heaven
story
ending.
in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated.
Actually, no,
It's
I
that
think we can
keen eye for
go through it pretty
storytelling
quick.
that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
So let me just go back this way. Given that Stanley...
More elevator.
Incredible.
Yeah, more elevator.
Now
Given
he's
that
getting
Stanley is
back
just a
into the
projection of the
elevator
player,
and
does
going
that mean you
down
love
again.
yourself?
Ladies and
Great question.
gentlemen,
No.
How does he keep coming up
You
with
can't
all
trick
this?
me.
Dang it.
You cannot trick me in hashtag loving myself.
It was a good try, though.
Yeah, it was a good try. All right, we're going to back up the elevator.
Did you think
Yes.
down a spooky corridor?
I love elevator rides.
It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what
There's
might
so
be
many
up
endings
there.
in this game,
Is
and
it the
each
boss's
one is
office
impeccable.
Again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is
Yeah, you almost got me. All right, so what was the end of that prediction?
It looked like most people said yes, we will get the whiteboard.
All right, I hope so.
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh.
God,
It's
it's
the
the
boss's
boss's
office.
office.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Everyone hydrate.
Yeah, let me take a sippy. Actually, I have coffee because this is actually my bedtime. So I drink some coffee. Okay.
Coffee for bedtime, okay.
Well, I mean, I'm awake. Like, this is my bedtime. But I'm awake right now.
Oh, you're trying to
You
stay
get it?
awake.
You get it?
Oh, I get it, I get
You
it.
get
I
it?
get it.
Terms with it.
I got it, I got it.
Space and
Yes, hydrate, chat,
worldview
hydrate.
For this astonishing new
Caffeine
reality.
is, I mean,
As
coffee's
before,
not really
I
hydrating.
turn to
but,
your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Thank you. Thank you, narrator.
Of course.
Just let me sleep
Going
on
back
stream.
down in the elevator. How
That'll
did
be
I
the
not
next
anticipate?
attract mode nap
Sure,
time with
now
Sweet
it's
Peebs.
obvious, but you have to understand that 30
You know,
seconds
I'd
ago,
be there for
this
that.
Yeah, you could host.
Yeah,
I would definitely join
I had
in.
no
Yeah.
frame of reference to even anticipate.
As an expert nap
That's
taker.
just
Yeah.
how revelatory
And then it's just
Stanley's
punk shoes and
decision-making
meme
is.
memes
A
and
breath
omni
of
mirrors
fresh air
and,
in a
you know,
landscape
the
of
snarks.
storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
All right, let's go. Let's go, baby.
More elevator.
That's right.
Whee!
You thought we were done, but no, we're not.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a minute.
But while we're waiting, so it doesn't
It's
have to be
the
a video game. You know,
anticipation,
movies,
Stanley.
books.
You and we have no way of knowing what will be at the
I mean,
top of
I
this
already
elevator.
mentioned,
But the suspense,
you know,
the agony of waiting and anticipating
you know,
and having to guess, that's the
the
real
Rush
thrill.
song. You know, it's like,
Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so
sorry,
fleeting.
I kind of lost my
Why
train
don't
of
we
thought.
take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it
It gives
seems
us
like
more time to
nowadays
read.
the only
Narrator,
thing
we can
that
go
audiences want
read.
is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible.
As we go
One piece.
down.
Big explosive
CC
moments
says,
flung right in their faces
Undertale
in the
highlights
very
that
moment
the
that
player
things
is the
get
only
started.
character in the game
Where's
world
the
with
tension?
free will.
Where's the
And
trust in the
Deltarune, the player
audience
character,
to
literally
understand
rips
the
its own
Whoa.
sword out to
appreciation for the
escape
story,
player
the
control and act on
characters.
its own.
Why aren't
Whoa,
we given time to
Deltarune,
imagine the
Toby, that
surprises,
goes
to have
hard,
to
brother.
think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal.
That's really...
This is storytelling, Stanley.
That's
What
pretty
you and
intense.
I
Do
are
you want to
doing
know a
right
secret?
now. This is the
I
most
never got around to
exciting
playing
narrative
Undertale,
to be
and
developed
unfortunately,
in
I know
years.
everything about
And
it
it's
now.
really all because of
I
you.
want to play
You're
it.
the
I
one
just,
who
you
took
know, I
this
have
bold
ADHD, and it's
step
like I
of
never got around to
revisiting the
it.
exact same locations over and over.
You know?
I played
Truly,
Undertale, but I
mean
never played
this
Delta
is
Rune.
unique and different. It's
I
not
have
like
also never played
anything else out
Undertale.
there.
The
You
closest
see,
I've seen
I
to it
want
was watching
stories that
Undertale Yellow at
surprise me,
S2DQ.
Stanley. I want to
Like
have the truth.
I've
I
watched,
want to
you
be
know, different
engaged and
videos,
not
different
pandered
speedruns,
to.
different
We're
people
being
playing
fed
it.
such
I've just like never played it
unimaginative
myself.
drivel all the
My old
time, and
office
we all know
manager
it,
at the
which is why
last
we're so
office job I
starved
had,
for
you know,
content that makes us feel sharp
before
and vital
COVID
and
started.
alive. That's why
Her
people
daughter
like
was
you so
obsessed
much,
with
Stanley,
Flowey,
because you're not afraid to spit
the
in
the flower
face
that
of
turns out to be
tradition.
evil,
You're a
and like the
rogue, but
Oh,
evil
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mastermind.
people look up to you.
And I was
Which is
like,
why-
whoa,
I
your
didn't know the
7-year-old
string
daughter
was on you,
loves
but,
Flowey,
well,
the evil
I've
flower?
gathered a
And she was
little
like, yeah,
press
she
conference
loves
for you,
Flowey,
so
the
that
evil
you can
flower.
talk about your work and your storytelling and your life.
Yeah, Toby's just
Yes,
a
I
little
know you're not much
doggy.
for the public eye, but I thought
Okay,
it would
Lazo says,
especially
I feel
mean
like
a
Metal
lot to
Gear
the
uses a
people who
lot
have
of the
been
themes that
following you
can
from
all
the
be
beginning.
tied into
They
an
really
overarching
look up
theme
to you,
of free will.
Stanley. I don't know
Yeah.
if you realize
And
the
then
impact
like
you have on
weird
them.
ways
This
to
is the
interact
kind of
with the game
gesture that
itself.
might leave a
You know,
tremendous
like you
impact
can
on them
either
for the
wait.
better. Oh,
Oh yeah,
good.
here's the culmination of the elevator ending. You can either,
The room
you
where they're
know,
holding the
wait to
press
do a
conference
certain
should
thing,
be
or
just
you can
around the corner
like
here
change the
somewhere.
time on your game console or whatever, and it's like
Ah, yes.
that
here it is,
Kojima-san.
just
You know,
from
he's
this
got some
door.
he's
Right.
got some
Are you ready?
ideas.
I've told
So
them you're
this
going
is
to speak
the
a little bit about the
ending,
nature of
the actual
surprise in
ending.
storytelling and what it
You
means
know,
to craft
all eyes
a
on
truly
Stanley.
unpredictable narrative. Oh,
You
don't
know.
worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm
The story tells
really
Stanley reveals
proud of
all,
you,
you know, up
Stanley.
again, down again, the Stanley
Okay,
story.
It looks like they're ready
Are
for
we at
you.
Superliminal now?
Go get
No,
'em.
but that is another fantastic game that I am looking at my collector's edition right now. It's how you know I'm a real Superliminal gamer. So this is
also
Everybody
have
Loves
my phone.
Stanley. It's really loud. Everybody loves Stanley because he's a fantastic storyteller. You know, up again, down again. You know, everybody loves Stanley. Everybody loves Stanley. Congratulations, Stanley. I love you. What were you saying?
Oh, I just had never played the other game you mentioned as well.
Oh, yeah. All right, so does Zelda technically relate to free will
Even
with the
now,
fact that there's
Stanley's
always a
office was
cycle
distant memory.
and a Demon
What did it
King
look like?
being
There
resurrected?
was a computer,
I
perhaps. A
haven't
painting.
played a Zelda
Was it a
game,
painting
so I
or a
don't. But
photo?
going from
He
the
could no longer
zeitgeist,
recall. No matter how hard
I won't do
Stanley
that yet.
looked, he
You know, going
couldn't
from
find
the
a trace of his
zeitgeist,
co-workers.
I think that would fit because you know, it's like wow, it's a lot of business happening. We're not okay. Yeah, we'll go through the new
Oh.
content.
New content?
We're
What does
just,
that
you know,
mean,
I'm
new content.
like doing all these endings and I'm realizing we're running out of time. Yeah, thank you. I know words.
Let's see. Laszlo says each Metal Gear Solid game has a one-word theme, including
Hello, and thank you for playing
gene,
the
scene,
Stanley
meme,
Parable
peace,
Ultra
and
Deluxe.
revenge, for example.
As you may know, the Stanley
Kind of all
Parable
ties
was a
into the
video game
idea that
released in
your
2013
genetics, your
on home computers.
surroundings, your circumstances, the state of
After
the world,
receiving critical
what
and
has happened
commercial
to you
success,
doesn't
it was
define who you
expanded
are,
upon in
and only
2022
you
with
yourself
the Stanley
determines your
Parable
own destiny.
Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
So, do you all know?
Step inside.
Do you all
and
know
see
who
what
this voice
thrilling
is?
New adventures await in the Stanley
You probably,
Parable
I don't know if
Ultra
anyone.
Deluxe.
I do not.
It's Alex Hirsch,
Oh, well,
the
this sounds
the
delightful.
Gravity Falls
I'm very
man.
excited to see the thrilling new
I have not
Ultra
seen
Deluxe
Gravity Falls.
content.
Well, it's Alex Hirsch, the Gravity Falls man.
I believe you.
So, I normally would not be doing the new
Okay, so far
content.
it's an elevator.
Yeah, the
Nothing
Gravity
special
Falls
yet,
one.
but I'm sure it's just
But
the
we're
beginning of a
we're kind of running out of
mesmerizing
time here. I at
adventure.
least want to get the bucket, because then you'll
Yes, we need buckets.
then you'll be aware
Is it
of
broken?
what the hell
What's
I've been
going
talking
on
about.
here? Should we
I also remember Red Dead RDR2 being forced to do the mission with our... Yeah! I only know about that from outside Xbox. Or outside Extra. I only know about that, but yeah.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
So here's the new content. We have a jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Okay.
You can jump. That's it.
Is that it? Surely that's not all.
Did you enjoy a jump mechanic?
Something else, right?
But you only get 36 jumps total, and after that you cannot jump anymore.
I have to say,
dang.
Yeah.
impressions of this game are not
Use them wisely.
It's just
So I am going to this new content assuming
exciting new content.
that
If this is new content,
so I'm just
then I could
pretending
read you the whole dictionary
in my
of
own
20
little
hours of
my
new
little
content
play
right
space
there.
here.
Yeah,
I am
I could count
pretending
to
that
30
you all have
trillion.
seen
You could put
or
that
have
on the
played
box.
the Stanley
The Stanley
Parable
Parable
already.
Ultra
So that
Deluxe,
now this new
with over
content
1,000 hours
is like,
of new
whoa,
content.
you
Wait,
know?
There's more.
So whenever you see the new content, just be like,
Yeah. I
whoa.
knew there'd be something
Okay.
else. Let's see it. I'm
Alright.
ready for whatever it is.
Well, no, it's not. Yeah, here you go. Whoa.
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 Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Whoa.
You see, Stanley?
Whoa.
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap
It's so
expansion
cute.
to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on
Poggers.
the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this?
I love this
I'm
game
infuriated
so
and I'm
much.
offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Yeah, give
It's
me
my
your
fault,
your
Stanley.
best
I built
Pogger
up too much
emotes,
anticipation
please.
around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
Yeah, thank
If
you
you're
for
still
enjoying
with
the
me,
new content,
why don't we
everybody.
just
You know,
reset
this
the
is
game, and we'll try to get
This is
back to
quality
what
content.
the Stanley
It is.
Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Yeah, sure. Just my ultimate hope is all right. So we're gonna go into the memory ending. My hope is
Come
that
over here.
those of
In
you
the
who
vent. I
have
want
not
to
played
show
Stanley
you
Parable at all,
something.
those of you who only played the previous release, not realizing that this actually has like a metric S ton
You remember how cheap and unsatisfying
of
the
new stuff.
Ultra
You know, I really
Deluxe
hope you pick
content
this
turned
up.
out
It's
to
not
be.
on sale
But it
right
got me
now.
thinking about the past and how much
Hopefully
better
the next
Stanley
Steam
Parable
sale or
used to
whatever.
be. So
You know,
I
you
made
can get
something
it.
special.
Yeah, I'm
and tucked it
venting
away here where the
sus.
game's
So this
developers
is the
won't
memory
find it.
ending,
Just
and
our little secret. Take a look.
I
call
I
it
have not.
the memory
Sure.
zone. It's where
I
I've
know
been
that's a
storing
Signalis
all my
reference.
favorite memories, so I can relive the peak experiences of my life.
So the memory
whenever I
ending
want.
is, you know,
Experience.
going
Like the
through
launch of the
going
Stanley
through all
Parable
the
on
great
PC.
memories.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the
know,
memory
they
zone
won a
remind you of
BAFTA,
how wonderful Stanley Parable
all the
was
good
before it
times,
was
the
sullied with
Stanley
a cheap
Parable.
re-release? Remember back
This
in
is the
October
first
of
dollar
2013,
Davy
when the game
Redden
originally
got, I
launched?
guess.
Back then, video games had
Smile
integrity.
because it happened.
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
You know, it's so that this game rules. And then, you know, there's a Mariel ending. Deal's tough choice. That's right. Deal's tough choices. So this and a great thing about this
Of the Stanley
is
Parable.
it.
Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10
Well,
from
you'll hear.
Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling
Yeah,
writes,
see, it
and I quote,
tries to
"Where
be
so
updated.
many
or whatever,
games
so
that
that's really
aspire to
nice.
be more than games end up less than any form of art. Stanley Parable
So it's a lot of
strives
this, you
and
know,
succeeds
the
to be
narrator
every
huffing
game
his own
ever
farts.
created. Did you hear, Stanley?
Because
Every
of
game
the
ever
paltry
created. That's how
new
grand and
content
all-encompassing
on
the
display.
original
And then after
Stanley
this,
Parable was.
there's actual
It
new
was
content.
literally
And
every
it's
game
fantastic.
ever
We have to get through this
created.
first.
It was Skyrim. It
And-
was Persona
and I
3. It was all of them. And
Just
now
I
it's
love
nothing.
this game so
It's no games at
much.
all.
Like,
It isn't even the Stanley
Hopefully,
Parable anymore.
watching
It's
this
just a
game,
husk
if you've never
now,
experienced it
a
before,
lifeless
you're like,
husk
oh yeah, this is
with
definitely
an
a SweetPeebs
hour
game,
of
you know?
elevator content.
I mean, watching you play this is like, I need to play this game.
Yeah,
Like, real bad.
yeah. Person of the Year, Stanley.
I thought the floor in that room was covered in beans
Here's
for a
another
hot
moving
second.
passage, this
Beans.
time from GameSpot.com.
Earth beans, stones,
The Stanley
pebbles.
Parable is both a richly
Earth beans,
stimulating
yeah.
commentary on the nature of choice in games,
Pebbles.
and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted
God,
with.
I
in a
am
game.
the current performer.
9 out
Thank
of
you,
10.
Nick.
Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone.
The greatest
to
love
spend the rest of time
is
collecting
memory.
dust in the hallowed hall.
Oh,
of
I just
beloved
changed
video
the time on
game
my clock. Like,
memories.
I was... I love this game too much
These
to
were simpler times, Stanley.
not play
What I
it,
wouldn't
you know?
give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on.
Yeah, here we
I don't
go.
recall this part of the memory zone before.
The Steam
What's this? What's
reviews.
down here? Oh no. Oh
Oh,
God,
no.
Stanley, it's a collection
No.
of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Me and the boys
I
at
haven't
3
looked
a.m.
at
looking
these
for
in
Earth
years.
beans.
I can't even imagine what's been
Earth
collecting
beans,
down
Pog.
here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
Funny.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley
Oh,
Parable,
yeah,
but
so
the
if
game's
you
already
care
such
about
a densely
Honky,
layered
which
web
I
of
do,
profound
you know,
philosophical
forcibly
insights
assigned
that I can't even imagine
Honky
where I'd have the
Fan
room to
by
stick them.
Swap Peanut. The Carolina Hurricanes won against the
let's see what this one says.
Colorado Avalanches.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone
I'm
who
gonna be the
prefers
first to
non-video
congratulate
games, this preachiness gets annoying.
the Seattle
fast.
Mariners. I
Preachy?
mean, the
Stanley,
Carolina
I'm not
Hurricanes.
preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
I guess my favorite Earth
This is actually
bean
quite shocking for me.
is
I always, well, to be
I'm
honest,
seriously
I have
blanking,
always thought of the
like-
game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game. to
God,
get
I
it
don't know.
feel
I'll have
as
to get back
light
to
and airy
you.
as it-
It's
well,
one of
I
the
think it did.
it's one of
Maybe
the
it wasn't.
rocks that
Yeah.
is at the
What an
in the
awful
court,
memory
not
to
the
have to
court,
hold on to.
the middle
These black
sandwich
marks
part.
are my otherwise unimpeachable track
I swear,
Mantle?
record. I feel
sure.
like a failure.
I have no idea.
It's
Like I let
no,
people
we're on
down.
we're on the
Perhaps
crest.
the Stanley Parable.
Yeah, we're on the
isn't
crest.
We're on the
as
crest.
sterling
The,
as
the,
always
the sandwich part, yes.
Yeah, the
we're
sandwich
gonna-
part. You know, like,
remembered.
You know, it's Earth beans. It's perfect.
Earth
It makes
beans.
sense. We're having an Earth bean sandwich.
Yeah.
Explanations of
beans
what
on
happened.
toast,
I
and
wish
the
there was
toast
a
is the
skip
Earth
button.
crest, cause like crest, get
A
it?
skip button. Well, yes.
Okay, yeah. So
Yes,
this
I
is
think we can
this
do
is
that.
another
If I'm
very
truly too preachy,
existential.
then maybe letting you skip
So this
ahead for
this
just a
review is
moment
like, I wish we
surely
had a
couldn't
skip
hurt.
button,
What
and
if it
then
means we can
you're
strike
gonna
these
immediately
negative
regret
reviews
getting a
from the
skip
record?
button.
Only positive reviews
Because-
of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always
It's
been mine. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley.
It's messed up, but I love
a skip
it.
button we shall have.
So here we are.
And here it is.
in the
Go
skip
ahead
button
and give it a
room.
shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for. And I'm
Y'all can
very
tell me
proud
when to
have
skip,
delivered.
but like,
No more
you know,
listening to me
dig into
rambling
your heart
on
and
on
feel
and
exactly when to
the
skip.
Stanley
Don't just be
Parable
like,
is
oh,
a
let's
game
skip,
for
it's
the people.
funny.
And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices are what happened, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So, now you see,
Yep,
blah,
now.
blah, 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 blah,
Now?
blah, 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 blah,
I think
blah,
so.
blah. We've eaten too much, and it can't be just yet. No.
I feel it.
Right.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
see?
Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of
we
a
should skip again,
treatise.
right?
Or
I mean,
maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for
you
very
already.
briefly, and you can
I
me
didn't
what
tell you the
think.
rules. You only get
So
one.
my theory is
Oh,
that
okay,
every
someone
choice
else is
you've
gonna have
ever
to
made
say to
is
skip.
simply a series of
All right.
choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having
And
made
before,
said
yeah.
choice.
Scott,
That is
okay,
to say,
yeah.
if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being,
And
then
okay,
by
y'all are saying
making
skip.
no
Okay.
choice and well, there, sport. You really
We
did
are
catch
learning
me
so much,
rambling
but
on a bit,
the
didn't you?
audience-
But that's the power of the button. The
I,
minute
of course,
start
listen
go
to
off on a
every single
thoughtless
thing he
display
said.
of self-absorption, it's
But,
right
you
at
know.
your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review.
Is
or
that
at
a
least
real
change
Steam
some of the
review?
wording,
Yeah,
perhaps.
they're all real
To
Steam
be
reviews.
honest, I don't even know if one can
Wonderful.
change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button.
Oh my god, what if
Although
we
I
press
have
the
to
skip button
imagine
and
that
skips
after
me
seeing this
instead?
exciting new
No!
technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation.
So Mel and Grace
Yes,
use-
I think that's quite likely.
I'll say that's
Or
Mel's
perhaps
skip, 'cause
they'll
I saw
simply
that
grant this
message
particular
first.
user the
Yeah,
ability
that's
to
fair.
change
Yeah,
their
and
review,
so Grace, you still
so
have
that
your
the
skip.
feature is not widely abused. No,
And then
I would
Sal, of
even
course, you
be
still have
okay
yours.
with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads
But
as
I
something
think
more
we need to
beneficial.
listen to-
Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about
I can't wait to
this?
hear what he says
From
about the review.
ashes of depravity
Listen.
rises the phoenix of quality.
Alright. There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
Yeah.
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated.
We should skip
and we
again.
Can say
You should-
goodbye to it and just wait. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've
Right, I
just
heard
been
Sal first,
frozen
McCall,
there.
you still have your
I
skip.
don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked
Oh, we
every
skipped it
one
too
of
far out
those
of bounds.
walls a
Yeah.
1,000 times.
We
And there's
deloaded
no
the door.
Yeah.
Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't
Okay.
touch it.
There we
And
go. Close
Oh,
the skip.
Stanley, look back. Look
And you
back.
see
Oh my
the
goodness.
tree
I have
has
to
lost
play
its
it.
leaves.
Oh.
And,
Stanley,
you know, the
I think
clock,
it's been a
and
week.
now it's all
Or 2
dark.
weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
It's been 2
just sitting
weeks.
here, not a single person to speak with.
Our narrator.
And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
But yeah, there is no way to do
What
this
do you
without
think,
skipping.
It's exactly the same as
He
always.
does stop
Doesn't
talking
that feel
eventually,
like what
and you
we've
do have to
already
skip
been
because I mean
doing?
that's
me just talking.
Yeah.
But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It
okay.
isn't even
Leslie, you want to
close.
skip?
Because
Okay.
Oh no.
hello,
Yeah,
it's you.
everything's dark.
You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track
Yeah.
after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me
That
describe
lady in
it
that
for
book
you.
did,
To begin with, there is only
where she
the
like
grit.
sleeps through
There is
9/11.
only the turning
Remember
wheel
that
of
book?
missed opportunities.
No.
I felt
No,
right
No.
along
it's
with
like-
regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months.
It's a
I
book,
lost
and
it
she
all in a
like
blur of the
the
deepest
only thing she
longing to
does
undo the
is
past.
Like she
And
wants
when
to
that
sleep through
feeling
the
had
entire
begun to
year.
subside,
So she'll
what
wake
took its
up
place
and
is what I
like,
could
you
only
know,
describe as the
bathe and
collapse
stuff.
of
Some like
every
eat
moment
and
I
bathe and
have
stuff, but then she'll
ever
take sleeping
experienced my
pills
entire
to go back
life.
to sleep.
All
And
of
then she
them
has people like
collapsed down into a
taking care of her
single instant.
apartment and
In
bringing
that
her food and
instant,
stuff.
I could see myself
And then
clearly, calmly,
Yeah.
with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight
Have we
and
run out of
disgust
skips
simultaneously.
in the audience?
I was consumed by it. I could do nothing
Grace-
but
I don't
wonder
think-
Linear.
what
Grace
felt
still
like an
has
eternity for
linear
what I
and
now
Grace.
know
and
was far
Grace.
less. You see,
Scala-
it was a
Scala
has not yet
revelation for
skipped.
me.
Yeah, our
It was
bucket has not
unlike
skipped.
anything I had ever known.
It's
It
a
was space
fictional-
without
okay, Grace says-
consequence.
It's a fictional story. Yeah. Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? Indeed.
Narrator? Narrator friend, you okay?
Fantastic.
Whoa.
He died. You just have to outlast
Oh.
the narrator.
You're that stubborn.
I won't go until somebody tells me to skip. Who hasn't told me to skip yet? Peebs, Snurd, anybody coming in from there if y'all are still here? Okay,
Someone in
CC,
chat rescue
CC.
us.
Oh,
Yeah, the fire alarm is going off. It needs the batteries need to change. Okay,
Oh,
we
we
have
have a skip from Linear.
there we go.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant
then
to
he
be
was-
funny.
Hello,
It was
narrator.
meant to have
Hi,
a
narrator.
point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world.
It's
As
true.
though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply
Nobody's
has to
saying
happen.
skip.
The most immediate desires. Every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been
I can't
given
believe
to
nobody
indulge
mentioned The
in every
Matrix.
fleeting whim for no reason other
Where
than
are
It
y'all?
came to mind.
Yes.
Where
It did
are
come to
y'all?
mind.
Okay,
It
okay.
seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort
I haven't
with
seen the fourth
ourselves
one.
that
I'm
our
not
entertainment
interested.
is now our lives.
My
It has
dad
come
took me to
represent
see
us. It
Reloaded.
absolutely must speak
And
to
he-
who we
he was
are
like,
as
"Oh."
people, because otherwise, without our entertainment,
Like all the-
we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have
The
to
certain
face
bits of
inward toward
Reloaded
the
that you
cruel
probably don't want
bleakness
a
inside ourselves.
12-year-old
we
to
would
see.
turn to look at our deeper nature.
yeah, we
and
saw-
find a resounding emptiness.
Okay,
and
Scott
bring
says-
back
okay.
With
oh, you gone again?
He's going yeah.
We finally killed the narrator.
We possibly. And nothing's happening, so I'll go ahead and.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Oh, no.
Never the
He has
end, is
fully
never the end,
lost
is never
his
the end,
marbles.
Is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh,
is
seven
never the
narrator.
end, is never
7,
the
yeah,
end,
let's put some
is never
07s in
the
chat,
end, is
everybody.
never the end, is never the end, is
It's just
never
more
the
of this, I'll
end,
go
is
ahead
never
and. And I'll just go ahead and do it. And then here we are. It's been so long that the environment is starting to break down.
Oh,
Yeah. And then it's been so long that it's completely broken through.
How are we still alive is now the question I'm having.
And well, you know, we just sat frozen, like, you know. Don't worry about it. It's a video game.
I just assume that we're like existing outside of time as time passes.
I mean, you don't have to think about it too hard. You know, like we are in a video game, but also I think he's just been standing there because he's
I mean,
Stanley.
are we also sure that Stanley's a human?
Yeah, I mean, Stanley's my husband. And now it's been so long that all the plants have died again, and and then it's, you know, just more darkness, and the dirt is,
Well, that's
is
not
What's
creepy
that?
at all.
yeah. I'm a speciesist, I guess. So yeah, this is the skip button is
Oh.
now donezo. We are now.
Oh, it's so bright now.
It's so bright, you know. It's been so long that the seas have dried up. All the people who left those nasty reviews are dead now, and we are simply existing in, you know, this wasteland, all because we wanted to skip the narrator. And what did we get? Nothingness, bleakness, a hell truly of our own making, and we made that choice. We made that choice together, all of us. We are all culpable. Are you proud of yourselves?
Yes, very actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We had the free choice to do so.
But now we're back, and
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a
we're
sign
not
of
gonna
something?
do the
He
heaven
hoped it
ending,
was.
which
He hoped
is
very much
literally one of
that
my
it
favorite
was.
endings. We're gonna. Here's some new content. We want to go in there. Before we do that, I do want to go.
When
'Cause there's the
Stanley
right
came to
door.
a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way
So
to
we're
the
gonna go through
meeting
here.
room,
We're
and
gonna-
Stanley knew it perfectly well.
We're gonna go
Perhaps he
see
wanted to
me,
stop by the
his
employee
wife.
lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
It had really
Okay,
been worth,
actually,
but eager
before
to
I
get
move
back to
on,
business, Stanley took the first open
Z,
door on his
adventure
left.
line or wife?
Oh,
Adventure line or wife?
you're making me choose between two things I love:
Yeah.
women and adventures. Adventure.
Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Holding.
Now, let's see, we went
Narrator
down,
help,
right,
please.
left, down,
He needs
left,
help right now.
right. Yep, okay, yes.
Good thing he's got a
I've got it
narrator
now.
guide.
This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
So looking for the story.
No.
Just kidding, it's not here.
No, this isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story
Fired?
is completely unusable.
Yeah, somebody's been fired.
How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't
I
wander
haven't
so far
mentioned
off track,
my little
Okay,
picture.
from the top.
This is the figurine
All of
that
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oz mentioned,
Stanley
but I drew
decided to
my
go to the
hair on
meeting
it and
room.
my glasses
Perhaps
on
he had
it.
simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what?
So we are
No,
in the
No, I
adventure
restarted. I swear, I
line, the
definitely
official Stanley
restarted
Parable
the game
adventure
over
line
completely fresh.
ending.
Everything should be...
This is a
Did
multi-layer.
something
They're all multi-layer, but this
Stanley,
one is a
Did
multi-layer.
you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Ending?
Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on.
Because the narrator is
Why am I
as
asking you?
confused
I'm the one who wrote the
as
story.
we are at this point.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
All right, let's go this way.
Okay. I really want to ride a Segway through here.
Yeah. That would be fun.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
So what do you think is going to happen, Z?
I am at a loss.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh.
Now this...
Oh.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You
Yay!
win! Congratulations!
We win!
Hey, let's
I know you
go.
put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some
Hey,
people
now.
win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No, not again.
All right.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed
Yellow
the
paint,
help
let's
of
go.
the
Yes.
Parable
Go.
Adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is how I want my games to lead me around,
Yeah.
personally.
Are you sure?
You see, the line
Positive.
knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
Destiny.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
Holy shit.
Or to put it another
crap.
way,
Oh.
is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being
Oh my
via the very
goodness.
manifestation of the nature of life itself?
That's wild.
Whoa. Hang on.
Hang on.
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to
Someone's having
apologize.
some fun
Sure
with the
where I
yellow
was
paint.
going with
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
That was not the type of music I was expecting.
Yeah, well, you know, that's on you. Yeah, how do y'all feel about yellow paint?
I am
Cut the
all
music.
for
Go
yellow
back
paint.
and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Oh, write that down,
Okay.
chat. Write that
Yeah,
down,
write that
chat.
down, chat.
And remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
It has exactly 764 leaves.
Mwah.
Wow, fast counting.
Thank you.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
The Stanley Parable.
Oh, no.
Oh, not again.
Line. How could you have done
This
this to us?
ending.
And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley?
Stuck in a
I
time
say
loop.
Forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do
Very
you want our
backrooms
story
looking
to be?
hallway.
Go wild. Use your imagination.
Or is the back room
Whatever
Stanley
it might be,
Parable
Stanley.
looking?
I'm ready for it.
Oh.
Oh, no, not you again.
Not you again.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it.
Yeah,
That
okay,
should be
if y'all
fine.
ended up in the back rooms, what would you do?
Cry.
Cry?
Ah,
same.
a choice.
Same.
We get to make a decision.
Back
From
rooms
here,
absolutely
the
takes
story
place
is
in the
in
same
our
universe as the
control.
Stanley Parable.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Alright.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead
But I don't want
somewhere,
to make anybody
which
dizzy. I'll
means
just
that
stand
somewhere
here.
the place where we're trying
That's
to
me
go,
when I'm just like
there
thinking
must be
through
a
something. I'll
reverse
start
door
pacing
that
in a
leads
circle.
here.
Oh, I'm not a
Yeah,
pacer.
Present
My
turn
leg's
means that our
a
destination
tapper. It's a shaky. I got
corresponds
that
with
shaky
totally
leg.
inverted reverse
I am
door
shaking my
origin.
leg as we
So
speak.
starting from the right,
Is
let
the
us
back
ask,
room
will
safe
taking the right door lead us to
or
where
full
we're
of
going?
monsters?
And since
I
the
mean,
answer is
there's
clearly
there's like
yes, then
safe
by all
parts
accounts,
of the back
door on the
rooms,
right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
but there
Come,
are
Stanley,
monsters.
our destiny awaits.
That's right. It's the confusion ending.
Fusion ending.
Yeah.
Hold up, what's this?
You've been playing the confusion ending for
confusion
17 minutes.
You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
Tricked you.
And we're supposed to restart the game what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Family
So
dies.
now,
Certainly-
according
oh,
to
no.
the schedule, I restart again. Then what?
But after a long
Am I
time.
just supposed
That's
to
okay.
For a long
forget?
time, Stanley.
Well, what if I
yeah.
don't want
True.
to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
Yeah, I'll stand here so y'all
Wall.
can
Well,
read all
who
this.
consulted me?
I like
do I
how
get
there's
to
suddenly no
decide?
longer an
Why
office and
don't
instead
I
we
get
have
a
to
say
just
in all
find a
of this? Is
bookstore
it
in
really-
the blackness.
No, it
Yeah.
can't be.
Yeah, Carl's right.
I don't
Our
want it
liminal
to be.
spaces is
I
right.
don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Oh my god, did we break the cycle?
Whatever it
of
is that made this schedule.
adventure?
How would we
I don't
even
know.
know? Will
Let's go
someone come
breaking
for us?
cycle.
Let's go.
Will something happen? So,
Okay.
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 I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh my.
Jump scare.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
All
could it
right,
mean?
let's go
Stanley
ahead.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's somewhere I can't. Yeah, it's whatever. You wanna go to the new? Let's go to the new content.
Oh, good.
Yo, you wanna go
noticed my
wife time?
smile.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
I have
do
something
wife
very
time.
Exciting to show you. When Stanley came to a
We'll
set
do
of
wife
two
time,
open
and then we'll
doors,
go to
this
the
was
new
not the correct way
content.
to the meeting room, and
Do you
Stanley
want to
knew it perfectly
do
well.
proper wife
Perhaps he
time, or
wanted
do
to
you
stop
want to
by the employee
do
lounge
the
first,
other wife
just to
time?
admire it. Wow, Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Was that a me question or a Scholar's question?
Anybody. I say
Stanley was
the
so
other
bad at
ending.
following directions. It's
Stanley
incredible
was so
he
bad at
wasn't
following
5
directions.
years ago. Look,
We get
Stanley,
Peebs'
I think
choice of
perhaps we've
lifetime. Let's
gotten off
go.
on the
Yeah,
wrong
there
foot
is
here.
an ending
I'm
where
not
you jump
judging
off of
really,
this
I'm
because
not.
you
I
refuse
realize
to.
that investing
But
your trust in someone else can be difficult.
yeah, so I'm
but
not
the
gonna do
fact
that.
is that the story has been about nothing but you all this
There's also an
time.
ending down there. There's an ending down
There's
there. A
someone
couple
you've been
endings down there.
neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten
That's a
about.
lot of endings.
There's a lot of endings. That's
Stop
what I'm
trying to
telling
make
you,
every
babe.
decision
Like
by
this
yourself.
game.
Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her.
Her.
That's it, Stanley.
It's me.
Her?
I'm
Your
the
chance
wife.
to redeem yourself.
I'm the
to
wife.
put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Her from that game that Astrid
That's
plays?
her, Stanley.
Yeah.
You need to be the one
Do you want
to
me?
do
Okay.
this, to reach out to
Should I
her.
answer the phone?
If you can truly
or
place
should
your
I-
faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Answer.
You want me to answer the phone? Okay.
Oh,
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh?
That's me.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Yeah, it's
They
me.
want to commit
Yeah.
their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes
Yeah, the narrator
is a
would be
reminder of the
way too jealous. If
inconsequential nature
I'm
of
sh-
his
Stanley actually has a
existence.
wife, and it's me. And the narrator's trying to make Stanley think that he doesn't have a wife.
Oh, okay.
Pushing buttons,
Yeah.
doing exactly what he's told to do.
So there's
Now
another
he's pushing a
really
button.
nailing the point
Now
home.
He's eating lunch. Now he's
Of
going
pressing
home.
buttons, making the
Now
story
he's coming
progress.
back to work. One
When
might
can we
even
get a
feel sorry
femme
for
voice
him,
narrator?
except that he's
It's
chosen
funny.
this life.
It's a fun thing that you've said
But in
there.
his
We
mind,
will,
in his
get
mind, he
the
can go on
bucket,
fantastic adventures.
and then
From behind
we
his desk,
will
Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the
go-
unknown.
we'll go to the
Fantastic
museum
discoveries of new
ending
lands.
with
It
the
was
bucket.
wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize
Stanley is just
about
like
his
me
own
for
job.
real. It has
First, he
5
imagined
virtual
that one
lives.
day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
Choice.
It barely even mattered what
Ooh.
lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he
Don't worry about
called it
that.
the Stanley Parable.
Don't worry about that.
I know baby ending.
Yeah,
It was such a wonderful fantasy.
the
And
only
so
way to
in
get
his head,
that
he
ending
relived it
is
again,
you have
and
to
then
play
again, and again,
this game
over
for
and
4
over,
hours
wishing beyond
straight.
hope that it would never
Oh my
end,
gosh.
that
We
he might
don't have
always
time for
feel
that.
this free. Surely there's an answer
This
down
means
some
that
new
folks have an
path.
ending to
Mustn't there
experiment
be?
with at home.
Perhaps if he
True.
played just one more time.
Press you to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has.
This game's so
Nothing's
deep, I tell
changed.
you what.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Whoa. Okay, time go
And
sleepy
I'm
night
trying to
night.
tell
Go
him
eepy.
that in
Go
this
eepy,
world he
Stanley.
Oh,
can never
eepy.
be anything but an observer.
Sweet dreams, Stanley.
That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
That's true.
But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Can I have Hank Hill's the narrator? No.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
True.
How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press O to question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules.
I hear mirrors are
simply
good
play
for
to my
reflection.
intended purpose.
That's
the
an
same as
interesting
Stanley.
point,
Well,
Sal.
not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him.
Yeah, Grace,
I'm
that's one of your
compelled to.
wifeys.
Perhaps, well, maybe this
Mel's
time
one of
he'll
your
see.
wifeys.
Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
That one's not as, believe me, that's not as downer as some a couple endings are. But
Oh, whoa.
yeah, this is one of the
All of his co-workers were gone.
British paper.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, let's look.
I see some memos.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Oh,
memos.
good. You noticed
I noticed
my
your sign, yeah.
Yes, I have something very exciting.
So we'll finally get into the new content with a half hour left, or however long it is. We'll finally meet.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting
Our
on
new
the
best
Stanley
friend,
Parable and about
Skull
how
Kitty.
roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra
you,
deluxe
baby.
nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud
remember
to
what side
announce
it's
for the
on.
first
It's
time
this side.
ever, the Stanley Parable
Yeah.
2.
Okay. Oh.
Ooh, pretty.
Ah, Sal, come on. Ah.
Yes, you see, isn't this far
Ah,
superior to a measly
ooh.
re-release
Very nice,
with
very
a few
nice.
minor
Stand level
additions? Think of all the new
two.
territory
Taste
we'll
the
cover with a
sequel.
fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up.
Come on, everybody, get
Why,
your
there's so many
poggers
possibilities.
emotes.
It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking
Velvet
for.
rope. Nice.
Yeah. 2. They're back. 2 doors.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe,
Better,
don't you think?
more.
Ultra
2.
Deluxe. What does
The
it
color
even mean?
red.
But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic
New content is
statement
out. New content
right there.
part 2
It's
is
future-oriented.
here.
It screams
Old
progress
busted,
and
new hotness.
innovation and long-term franchising potential.
New mug.
New mic, and then the Stanley Parable. Thanks for attending. That's just how I make my presentations.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. There's 2 ferns now.
I
Yeah.
forget how many leaves I said earlier,
I don't know, if
but
I-
double that.
If anybody can,
Double
like,
the fern content.
see, there's 2 Stanleys.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at
2
some of the
eyes,
features
2
I've been
ears, 2
developing
nostrils,
for it.
legs, 2 legs.
I
Question
figure
mark?
that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of
Team chat.
naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much
Sequels
more
are
of a fuzzy
good.
magic than anything scientific or
Alan
logical,
Wake
really.
2. 2.
Unless it's
Truth is
Goat Sim,
everywhere.
and then 2 is bad.
2. Yeah, that's 2 Rue. Xenoblade 2, yeah. Everybody name some sequels, yeah.
Little Nightmares too.
Ooh.
Here we
Oh!
are.
Fancy.
Try out
New
some of the new
features. Okay, so this is something I'll leave y'all to play. Star 2, Val, you're so right. That's a great one. That's a great feature. Stanley Figgly Wigglies, Figlarines, the whole, you know, and then no screenshots, please. So here we have new feature, the Stanley Parable 2 reassurance bucket, and also merch. I wish this merch was real. I would buy it. What's this new content? Stanley asks. I'm so glad you asked, Stanley. Well, here's... Yeah, who here needs reassurance?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well,
here's
I'm happy to say that
main character,
after
the real main
much
character.
consideration, I've engineered a clever
We
solution
love you,
to this
Skullbucket.
fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind.
I feel so
and
calm and
it's
eased
true.
right now.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley
it's
Parable
glorious.
will feel perfectly normal.
Bucket, my beloved.
You may even come to
if I didn't
long
have
for
a
the
sinus
gentle embrace
infection,
of
I could
jarring
actually see,
cognitive
you know, the
dissonance while the
key.
bucket is in
But
your arms.
as
To
it
be
is,
honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be
So the
less
bucket adds
uncomfortable.
double the
Imagine what pain in the
endings.
ass that would be.
Each
Yes,
ending.
Oh, wow.
the bucket is the
There's
perfect
only
solution.
one ending
Come on.
that doesn't happen when you have the bucket. See, look, now we have the bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Thank you,
I
narrator.
think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Thank you, narrator.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Here we are. With our bucket, who...
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket
right,
in a
gamers.
video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
You know, we've got new features. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game, the jump circle, infinite hole.
Infinite hole?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yes. Here's the other jump circle. See, we only have 35 jumps remaining.
Oh no.
Here's the
The
Stanley.
bucket should get jumps too.
Yeah, here's the figurine. Here's my Stiggly Wiggly little guy. Mwah, mwah.
Very, very stiggly wiggly.
Yeah, and here's the sticker that I post sometimes on Discord of him with his little trophy. Down there's a test achievement. Here, you want to go into the infinite hole?
Very much so.
All right, so this is gonna have a
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly
flashing
fond of.
lights
It's never
warning.
been done before
This
in a
ending.
video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end.
Not
of time,
immediately,
if you like.
but
A
at
stunning
some point
leap
in this
forward for
ending.
video games is a medium.
There's gonna be flashing lights warning because like I'll be pressing buttons to make the screen kind of change and stuff. So
You see, isn't it wonderful?
we're here in the infinite hole,
One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do.
holding
say
our
so.
reassurance bucket
Now
so it's
then,
not
since
scary.
you've gotten
Yeah.
to see
Yeah,
the
not
infinite
scared at all.
Yeah.
You can
It's
press
fun
the teleport
with
button
bucket.
to pop back
Yeah.
up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Yeah, the bucket will save us surely.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a
Oh?
very, very deep hole?
Oh.
To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh,
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
we somehow
You
didn't
found me out, Stanley.
Okay.
I'm a liar and a cheat. and
Cease
you're
to
so
exist?
That's
clever.
fine. Meeting at
Look,
2
I think
p.m.
the issue here is just that you're
Yeah, we are
unusually
becoming the
fascinated
Earth
by
Bean.
falling. What normal
Always
person
wanted to be an
actually
Earth Bean.
wants to fall
Yeah.
infinitely? I figured the
Every
hole
pause
was as
button
deep as
is a
anyone would
Roman
actually
numeral
need.
2.
Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
And then there's just some cigarette butts down here.
Look,
No smoke.
things got a
Don't
little
smoke.
heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
Excuse me.
Why don't
I'm
we
sorry.
just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Oh, do I?
Not normal. A normal person
Yeah.
would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
It sure
I
did.
couldn't
Sure
help
did.
but feel like you spent a little less time in there
Liking
than you did
holes too
before.
much
I mean,
couldn't
admittedly, I
be
didn't
you.
make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay.
Imagine having enough.
I'm starting to become extremely
hole.
certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
I want a new
I
mug.
suspect that
right
I'm
here.
starting to
Come on.
hit the point where it's no longer feasible to
good, new
call the
mug.
hole infinitely deep,
Very good.
even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing.
From
What's
management
going
to
on
everyone,
here?
BCC me.
Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me.
Ooh.
Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
It looks like an empty
How is this still appealing to
toddler
you?
waiting pool.
Yeah.
I know you're
it looks
obsessed
like a
with
little kiddie
holes,
pool.
but at this depth,
Or a
I just
conversation
can't see you
pit.
scratching the itch.
Ooh, yes.
Oh.
In
Who am
before
I to
negative hole
judge?
hill.
You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Negative hole. We need a negative
Is the,
hole
Yeah,
for sure.
teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Bye.
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win, for,
a win for
everyone.
everyone.
You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
Bye.
I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Bye, narrator. I love you.
Hi, narrator.
Oh,
We have hole and bucket. What else do we need?
Yeah, you're right. We have hole and bucket.
Yeah. We're set for life. Oh, what?
What? Stanley went wee.
What's going on?
What's going on? I don't know. Let's wait and see.
Oh!
Yeah, so this part does have flashing lights, so please be hashtag aware. A bucket is just a small hole you can carry around ever. Think about that. I never thought about that, but I will forever now. Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa. Hi, Stanley.
Hi, Stanley.
Whoa. Whoa, muscles. Oh, galaxy.
I feel like we're making a beat with all these
Yeah.
changes, and I'm liking it. It's a good vibe.
Whoa. Ah. Error.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that,
Narrators
Stanley,
come back.
because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley.
So this is the whole
I'll
ending.
be back. Toodle-pip.
And then at this point, I will just begin the game again, because we don't have time. So now,
All of
we
his
are
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
without the bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Oh,
room.
poor
Perhaps he had
bucket.
simply missed a
Yeah.
memo.
Bucket is gone, but not
Oh,
forgotten.
good. You
Yeah.
noticed my sign.
So we'll-
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you. You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra
Yeah.
deluxe version has turned out to be. The
Wish I would've
original
skipped that.
Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new
I
content
forgot to
for
do
it
that.
should live up to that
Um,
legacy. So
which
forget
is
this
the-
ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, that's bucket. Okay. Just going over here.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover. with
Does
a
us getting rid of the
fully-fledged
bucket mean we
sequel. An
robbed
entirely new experience,
the
built from
bucket
the
of
ground
free
up.
will?
Why, there are
Oh
so
my
many
God, baby.
possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Let's get our bucket again.
Yay, bucket!
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical.
Because
That it
obviously
engendered
they're
a
bucket.
chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart.
I'm gonna have to go out and get myself a bucket.
As long
I
as you
know.
hold onto the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the
Okay,
gentle
narrator,
embrace
can
of
you just give me my
jarring
bucket?
cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
Bucket.
must already be sweeping through your body.
Just pick it up.
And in fact,
pick it up.
can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, I'm going to get a bunch of buckets
seem to
if
go
that's
long,
the case.
don't they? All this and
Catch
more
buckets,
awaits you in the
AGDQ.
Stanley Parable 2.
No, so
Does anyone give out awards for most
More bucket.
enjoyable
I'm bringing
bucket in a
buckets.
video game? That really
Yay.
should be an award if it isn't already. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean?
What does that even mean?
But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's, oh goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate
no.
to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the collectibles exhibit.
All right, let's
you
go
see,
to the
there is a
collectibles
surprise I was
exhibit.
going to spring on you later, and it involves the collectibles. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles, okay?
Guess we're gonna go see
All
the
right, I'll get out of your hair now. Ah, collectibles.
Whoa.
No, it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yay! You found it!
1 of 6.
1 of 6!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Oh, no more brick wall?
Maybe. Look, there he is.
Hi, Stanley.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say,
agree.
let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together.
All right,
and we'll see
everyone,
whether or not
let's
it
fill out the
coheres into a
survey for
meaningful
our
gameplay
narrator,
experience.
okay?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here it is.
I like
I give
surveys.
you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on.
The hole
Let me
is
do a
there.
different
That's-
Hole is there, the singly
Jump
wiggly's
circle?
there,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, this is much better. I feel...
So what did you think about that?
Here we go. Version
I liked it.
2.
You liked it? What about this?
Who am I kidding?
Oh,
Stanley?
it's twice the hole,
This is
though.
twice
Oh, the
Isn't a
hole,
coherent
let's
video
go.
game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy
There's 2
creating
buckets.
gags, but they don't add up to anything.
2 Stiggly Wigglies?
I
Okay,
wanted
no, that
more
one
than
was better.
anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
Do you think
I
it'd
suppose
work?
It could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with
think it
bold
could
and
work.
uncompromising conviction, this
I could
is
be
the
convinced.
Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
How do we feel about this?
Oh,
Hole 2,
Go ahead.
the sequel.
Take a look.
So now we have this new title screen. And
Very red.
It's very red and very, sans serif.
This is the...
Let me go skip that. So now we come out here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
And now
to go
the
to
bucket
meeting
is
room.
permanently
Perhaps
here
Stanley
with
picked
us.
up the bucket.
Let's go. This is a better version of the game already.
Yeah.
Stanley clutched the
Okay.
bucket tightly to his chest
We'll
and entered the door
go.
on his left.
Do we want to go game show or museum?
Ooh,
Ooh.
my vote's game show.
Okay.
I also would vote game show.
Okay, we'll do that first.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes,
how much
perhaps
time
it
left is
truly
on
was.
the clock?
How insightful the bucket
20 minutes.
turned
20
out to
minutes,
be.
okay.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the... Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
No,
There's
the
something up
bucket
there I
is
need you to
never
do.
on.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Danger everywhere.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
If we aren't allowed to bring Bucket with us further, does that mean the showcase has to end? Because
No.
we'll have to remove
Now
Scala.
then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell
All
me
right,
whether or not
so
the
y'all
thing
will
I'm
tell
showing you
me
is a bucket.
Yes or
Simple enough,
no.
right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1.
Is this a bucket?
A bucket?
Yes.
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket,
Not
not
an
an
actual
actual
bucket.
bucket.
Oh,
Okay.
So rude.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
yes.
Yes.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Oh, yay! We got
The
a point.
bucket.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yo.
Yeah, it's a bucket. You can put stuff in it.
Okay. I'll take it. Yeah.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Correct. This is a
Ah.
bucket.
Here's the thing. We're tricking the narrator.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Schrodinger's bucket. Let's go.
Incredible.
Item. Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless in your twisted mind have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket?
We did
What
it.
isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Yes, definitely.
I'm
Yes,
losing
you're a bucket.
myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
No!
Okay, here we go.
Don't do it. Narrator.
Narrator. No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Everything was a
everything
bucket.
a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Uh-huh.
My God, I had no idea.
Show's over.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley,
Oh, dang it.
you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
Oh,
this is
dang it.
wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Oh,
Yes,
I wanted to
I
be a
actually
bucket
feel
though.
much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll
Yeah.
know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Look at all
Already
these
this was
buckets.
uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
I love you, bucket. All right, we will go to the
Stanley
museum
clutched
ending.
the bucket tightly to his chest
The
and
bucket.
entered the door on his left. Still no one was
Tips
here.
for not getting fired.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more
Focus.
than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where... Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
No.
You can feel that, can't you?
Can't
the
have
aura
it.
of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet.
No.
That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom
No,
closet
they're
has
taking
sunk
my
that it has to resort to
bucket.
this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
We shall
Stanley,
never be parted
I
from
never
bucket.
liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the
Wait,
broom closet has
does
the
that mean
gall to
Laszlo is trying to
imply
steal
that
Scala
you
from
and the
us?
bucket
Oh
are
my
not
God,
truly deep and lasting
Laszlo.
friends? That your relationship is
Laszlo.
purely superficial and
Laszlo,
convenient?
what
That your
the
life is so
hell?
banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet
Oh,
off
I
for
see
its
a screenshot.
demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
We kept the bucket.
Oh, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping in.
Oh,
There we go. of increasing grass for science. No, stop.
The detail on this bucket is immaculate.
Yeah. It's a baby.
Quite good. If you had a bucket, what would you put in it?
What I put the bucket in?
What would you put in the bucket?
Oh.
My hopes and
Treasure.
dreams.
Okay, and treasure from Cell. Alright. I'd put my pogs in it.
Oh, your
Pogs, yes. Very good, very good.
I put my pogs in an old, like, child jewelry case.
Very nice.
I found them when I was at my parents' house last month.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. A lot of Christian themed pogs.
Really?
Like Jesus pogs, yeah.
Wild.
That's incredible.
Well, yeah, you know. You know how it is.
Did not know they existed.
I mean,
Chad is saying that they would put more buckets and cheese into their bucket.
More buckets. Just
Okay.
recursive buckets. Cheese.
What kind of cheese, though, is the question?
Oh, pepper jack.
So this is the
Ooh.
escape pod ending.
Ooh. We get to escape with the bucket?
Well, there's only room
But where'd
for
the
one.
bucket go?
There's only room for one.
No.
No. Bucket, no. Bucket, you go.
It's okay. It's okay, bucket.
You go without us, Bucket. We'll be okay.
Remember Jesus? He's back in pog form. That's right, CC.
Oh, Bucket.
There's only room for one in the escape pod.
Hurrah, Bucket. Have a good life, Bucket.
Live well, friend.
Well,
I'm actually tearing up a little bit.
goodbye, bucket. Well, yeah, you form an emotional attachment to the bucket.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, there's a phone ringing.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Yeah, can we get a poll? Who would you rather have with you? The bucket, the reassurance bucket, or the companion cube?
Oh.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
So now the bucket is gone. And what the hell are we gonna do now? So I'm gonna go.
Bucket is free.
So we just ordered all these boxes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Okay.
And I can't get over there to answer the phone. So now there's a replacement bucket. This is not our original bucket.
And try not
It's
to
not
lose
the
this
original
one too.
one.
This is not the original one. We freed the bucket.
It's Bucket
freed-
Junior.
Yeah, this is
We
Bucket
shall welcome
Junior.
Bucket Junior.
Yeah. So we'll
Stanley
end it
clutched
out.
the bucket tightly to his chest. And
This
entered
bucket
the
is an
door
imposter.
on
Oh
his
my,
left.
Amogus. So we'll end it out. We'll do the museum ending and then
Still no one was
one
here.
final ending after the
Stanley
museum
needed the
ending.
bucket's warmth and comfort
And then
now more
we'll-
than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the
We'll see
bucket
if we
walked
can.
upstairs to the boss's
We're
office.
still looking for that whiteboard ending, too.
I know. We're still looking for that whiteboard ending.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
Bucket
indication of
2.
any human life.
That's right.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional
now
dumpster
the
fire,
Bucket
if not
Parable.
for the soothing
Yeah.
presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I don't want secret passages at my house.
I would want them only if I knew about them.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
You wanna go
Mind
escape?
Control Facility. Although this
I mean,
passageway had the word
yeah.
escape written on it,
Escape?
the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
It's okay. We have Bucket with us. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
The
yeah,
door
no,
behind him
I
was
feel
locked
very
shut.
soothed again.
Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point,
Nothing
Stanley
bad
and the
can
bucket were
happen.
knowingly
We
walking
have Bucket.
forward into a very painful death for each of them.
You can name the bucket whatever you want.
As
Oh.
the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh no.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Bucket looks like a cheer.
In a
Fun
single
narrator.
visceral
Yeah, here's your fun
instant,
narrator.
the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
No. Oh, they lied to us, okay.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true
He
that
didn't
all
die.
buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as the result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? Let's go. So here
Can you
is
see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to
25.
claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his
bucket.
life?
well, you know, it's a bucket with 2 handles. So I will briefly go through this. I won't stop at everyone. You know, this is, you need to do this for yourself because, you know.
Buckets.
You're sick. Yeah.
Beautiful, flawless, no notes.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
I'm kneeling. I got the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I.
Did we just
that
do a
will
heist?
right this terrible wrong. Let's
Wait, we're back.
die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset
That's okay,
the game.
as
Don't
long as
give
the
him
bucket
another
doesn't.
opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
hail bucket.
Join the bucket cult. I'm in.
Bucket, bucket, bucket.
Chat, put a 1 in chat if you are also part of the bucket cult. Actually, no, put a 2 in chat if you're part of the bucket
Was I
cult.
sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Come on, hello? There we go. Hello? Yeah, okay, hang on.
What?
Oh.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway.
I know, you didn't see
meted
that
out in
coming.
parcels
Bucket's a
like
war
charity,
criminal.
and abandoned as soon
Oh,
as the
no.
warm glow of
Yeah, you did
inspiration
not. I bet
begins
you
to
didn't see
dim.
that coming.
The opportunities
Definitely
to do
did
so much
not.
more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer
What a
perception.
plot twist.
This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid!
His eyebrows, Mel.
Hey, bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Oh no.
So
a soft wind
that
blew outside and perhaps rain started.
that was some
and if it did, it stopped
endings.
shortly after.
Hi, Bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's
So those were some of
With
the
the bucket in his
endings.
arms
Not
again,
all,
he was
nowhere
home.
near all of the endings that you can find in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. There was more new content you could look at in the new content area that I didn't go over. There are more endings, both with and without the bucket, I didn't go over. So, you know, when this is on sale, if you haven't already picked it up, I highly recommend it. It is a hoot and a half, and you know, twice as entertaining. So I want to thank you all so much. I am SweetPeebs, and you can catch me this Saturday on Quacky's new Hotfix show, Make Your Own Victory, where I will be playing Saga Percent, the no men category of Alan Wake 2. And you can also hashtag cash me outside at AGDQ. My very first time submitting, my very first time being accepted as a runner. And I will be playing Night Springs, also from Alan Wake 2. And Swap Peanut was accepted in the second submission period for The Lake House. Not the 2003 film starring Keanu and Sandy, but rather the second expansion of Alan Wake 2. And those are going to be playing back to back. Hello.
Alan Wake 2 block, let's go.
Let's go. Alan, hashtag Alan Sweep. Let's go. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah,
I am
that's
Bucket.
No, you're not Bucket.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I am enbyzee. And you can catch me on YouTube and Twitch at enbyzee.
Let's go. Yeah, any
Stanley clutched the
last
bucket
words
tightly to
from
his
you
chest
peeps?
and entered
Oh,
the
yeah, that
door
was
of
my
his
last
life.
words. I'm sorry. My last
right.
words are I love Bucket. I forgive it for its war crimes, just as Dr. Bashir forgave Garrick for his war crimes. And they had a long and happy life together after the events of Deep Space Nine. You know, those are my last words here. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Peebs, for coming and doing this incredible showcase. This was so much fun. So glad I got to be here. The prediction has been paid out. We did not get the whiteboard ending, but don't worry, everyone. We will be back very shortly with a couple announcements before we go on a super exciting raid. Stay tuned for information about that. We'll be back in just... All right, everyone. That was an incredible showcase. I had so much fun with that. That was not what I expected, but all hail Bucket. Even though it's a war criminal, it's okay. Bucket is best. But with that being said, if you enjoyed watching that, please come submit your own attract mode. The submissions are always open. We'd love to have you on showing any game you love. As you saw today, that wasn't a speedrun. That was just us having fun with the game for a couple of hours. So whatever it is that you want to showcase, you can do that. You can send in your ideas at ladyarcaders.com. Right now, we're currently scheduling for both December, and then for February, we're taking a little break for January, just to give everyone a little bit of a rest. We'll be back in February. So even if you aren't available in December, that's okay. February, even further ahead into 2025, there's lots of space for you and your showcase. Speaking of really cool games as well, if you're part of the private Lady Arcader server, we put together an awesome advent calendar with one free game to be revealed every day in December. We've already had, let's see, it's the 5th of December today. We've already had 5 incredible games be revealed. We're having another incredible game be revealed tomorrow, and we're gonna have them revealed all the way through the end of December. So if you're in the private Lady Arcader server, make sure you're checking the server every day to find out what game is next. Many of them are free. Actually, no, they're all free. What am I saying? They're all free. You should go play them. And of course, we have an attract mode on Sunday. Our dear Sanjan will be battling her way through Chrono Cross RDE any % to present us with the good ending. We love good endings around here. And that's going to be on Sunday, December 8th at 2 p.m. Eastern, which would be, if I can do the math, 11 a.m. Pacific. That's going to be great. That's going to be really fun. Chrono Cross is an incredible game. Long run, but Sanjan does such a great job of it. Now, with that being said, we are going to go raid someone. In fact, we are going to go see our friends over at No Glitches Allowed. Right now, they are running No Holidays Allowed, which is a charity event raising money for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. And they're on their final event of the night, which is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. So let's go say hello to them, give some encouragement in raising money for their incredible cause. I have been your host, selcouthmind. It's been a delight being here. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night, and don't forget your emotional support bucket.